Welcome to a brief overview of the Certificate in Financial Studies course. There is a separate video for the Diploma in Financial Studies. Do check out the free resources in the description box too. So for CeFS, Certificate in Financial Studies, you will study Unit 1, Financial Capability for the Immediate and Short Term, and Unit 2, Financial Capability in the Medium and Long Term. Now for both of these units, you will sit a multiple choice exam, Part A, and Part B, a written exam. For Unit 1, you will sit those exams in January. For Unit 2, you will sit these exams in late April or early May. You will need to sit and pass both of these exams for Unit 1 and Unit 2 in order to pass the certificate. If you want to improve your score, then definitely have a talk with your teacher, as a resit opportunity is available in March for Unit 1 and in June for Unit 2, and it's the highest grade that counts. Part A is multiple choice, so as you know, you'll sit one for Unit 1 and one for Unit 2. It's 45 minutes long, 35 marks, you need to answer all questions. It is an e-test, so you'll complete the assessment using a computer. The results for this assessment will be given to you as soon as you've completed the test. You'll be given a number which is out of 35 for what you've scored within the e-test. As you can see, the highest grade that you can obtain is an A star. So for an A star, you'll need to get at least 32 marks correctly out of 35 to obtain this. It is important to practice past paper questions. Do feel free to screenshot this screen, or after your e-test, come and revisit the video to confirm what grade you have actually got. Now let's get on to looking at the written paper. The written paper is a pre-release case study and non-case study paper. 6 weeks before the written exam, you'll be given access to a case study. Now that case study will also be in the exam. In fact, there will be 2 case studies in the exam, but you will only focus on one case study and one set of case study questions that relate to that case study. Do not answer questions for both case studies. Just focus on the one that you're familiar with. You'll have case study questions and non-case study questions. The paper must be completed within 1 hour and 45 minutes. So do ensure you've answered the relevant questions within that time. Part B of this written paper also assesses spelling, punctuation and grammar, SPAG, which contributes to up to 5 marks. So do ensure for your 15-marker SPAG question, it will show you in the exam which question relates to SPAG. Make sure that your spelling, punctuation and grammar is at its very best for that given question. So as I said, you've got the case study section and the non-case study section. Within the case study section, that is where your 15-marker SPAG will be. So do ensure that you're very much familiar with how to answer a 15-marker SPAG question. If you're not, then do check out the video that I've put in the top left. I'll put the link to that in the description box. You will also have other case study questions to answer, and for that section it equates to 35 marks and 5 marks for SPAG as well. When it comes to the non-case study section, that includes 5 and 10 mark questions, and for that section that equates to 25 marks. Do ensure you come back over here before your January and May exams and check out the written predicted paper that will be created. I'll include a link in the video description box where you can access it. Just a reminder to like, share and subscribe, as I do post regularly. Now, as I said, you will receive the case study 6 weeks before the written exam. I just want you to be aware that there may also be additional information in the written paper which you will see on the day of the exam. Read this information carefully and apply your answers to it where necessary. Here is a specimen exemplar of additional information. So do look out for that if it is in your question paper at all. For the written paper, you may use a calculator, which must be silent and non-programmable, but do check with your invigilator. For Unit 1, financial capability for the immediate and short term, you will cover the following topics, which you will be assessed on in your multiple choice and or your written. Now for the Unit 1 paper, you will have case study questions, as you know. Now here are some examples of previous case study questions. You've got a discuss question, you have a compare question, you have a describe question, and you also have the evaluate 15 marker SPAG question. So typically that's the layout of how it looks, and you will have new questions focused on your case study. Then you have the non-case study type questions. You have analyze questions, identify, describe, and again another analyze. It's very important that you are familiar with the command words as well. For Unit 2, financial capability in the medium and long term, you will cover the following topics. And it's important to be very familiar with them, know them, be aware of it, because you will be assessed on it in your Unit 2 exams. So there's some examples of case study type questions for that particular case study at that time. Obviously they will change. Evaluate, analyze, discuss type questions. And non-case study questions: describe the importance of a budget, identify the key steps, identify 5 features, analyze how ethical considerations can apply to a savings account. 5 mark, 5 mark, 5 mark, and a 10 mark. Tips for the written paper: ensure you know the command words for the exam questions, such as analyze and describe and discuss. So you need to know how to approach them. So it's important that you don't write a conclusion for a particular command word where it's not necessary, because that will waste time. Or there might be some questions, such as discuss type question, where you need to include a conclusion. So it's important that you're very much familiar with how to answer the exam questions for the relevant command words. Make sure you have sufficient time to answer all questions. Do not leave out the 15 marker SPAG. Practice past paper questions before the exam. That is very important. Review the case study ahead of the exam, as you see it 6 weeks before. Identify the topics it might relate to. Plan and practice particular questions that you might think might come up as case study type questions. Ensure you know the topics well to help you answer the non-case study questions. Learn how to approach the 15 marker SPAG question. Do not ignore the additional information that might be given on the day in the written exam. Now the next 2 videos that will appear on the screen are what YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thanks for watching.